The Dallas Cowboys have gotten some good news going into week one. I'm talking about the injury statuses or lack thereof for Trayvon Diggs and Tyler Guyton. We'll also discuss the surprise Hunter Luepke contract extension and where things sit with the Tyler Smith one. Before we get into all of that on today's show, we are in a like battle this week against Eagles Now to celebrate week one getting going. We have the lead, but that's only one video's worth of likes. So let's double the lead right now. Hit that like button if you haven't already right here on the Cowboys Report. The Cowboys' final injury report is out, and Tyler Guyton and Trayvon Diggs are not listed with any designations, which is the NFL's way of saying they're playing. They're not injured anymore. So fantastic news on both Diggs and Guyton. We will go in-depth more on both of these players, why this does matter. I want to begin with Guyton, though, first up here. I want to give him some flowers. The Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, I think challenged him this offseason to do more. I think he answered that with the way he attacked his eating habits, attacked the OTAs, minicamp, the training camp before he got hurt. It was all stock up for Tyler Guyton. Then he got hurt, and the Cowboys again kind of challenged him of like, hey, you know what? You got to attack the rehab the same way you were attacking the offseason. I think at times last year, there seemed to be some frustration from within the organization about how Guyton was hitting the rehab, if he was getting a little bit too banged up. You're hurt, you're banged up, but you can't let yourself be hurt or banged up. That's not really fair, but that's football. You're going to have bumps and bruises. You got to be able to play through them. The fact that Guyton's back at the kind of early portion of his return window is a fantastic sign for the Cowboys. We'll talk about Diggs and a potential pitch count there later on. You can't really pitch count your left tackle unless he just is playing bad, which isn't a pitch count at that point. You'll have Nathan Thomas activated. You've got 11 offensive linemen on your roster. You'll inactive 2 to 3 of them at minimum, somewhere in that ballpark. But Guyton being out there is a big deal for the Dallas Cowboys. Both players' returns are big deals. Whose return do you think is bigger? TD for Trayvon Diggs, TG for Tyler Guyton. No wrong answer as far as I'm concerned. Both these guys' returns are very big deals and impactful and important for them as players and for the Cowboys themselves. Whose return is bigger? TD for Trayvon Diggs, TG for Tyler Guyton. Go vote at the pinned comment of today's show. I think for what it means for their career, you might be able to argue Trayvon Diggs. The reality is, look, the Cowboys probably owe him an apology because they ripped him repeatedly, unnecessarily, publicly for his rehab efforts. And then he came, they docked him his pay because he wasn't training with the facility. He's back. This is ahead of schedule. We had talked about all offseason, I don't know when Diggs is going to be back. It might not. He's probably going to start the year on PUP. He might not be available until the Thanksgiving game or whatever. We did the Madden Sims. I didn't bring back Diggs until November. Well, I should have brought him back week one after all. He is going to play against the Eagles. The fact that he is able to rehab the way he has, I think, is a big deal. I kind of believe my own conspiracy theory that the Cowboys weren't hyping it up because we would admit that they were wrong about the way Diggs rehabbed. In the end, it's a win for Dallas. Him being back out there is critical when you face A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, and an Eagles wide receiver core that overall is pretty damn good. I would not be surprised if the Cowboys' game plan at corner is when they're in that base package, right? 2 corners out there. Bland and Elam on the outside. Helps cover up Diggs' tackling issues at times. Coming off the injury, you might even be more worried about that, frankly. Keep them on a pitch count that way. When it's third down, when they go to 3 corners, or if they ever go to 4 corners, which I don't know if they're going to do, you put Diggs back on the outside. Bland, the recently high-paid corner, shifts inside to nickel. That plan would not surprise me at all. I think it's actually a pretty good idea for the Cowboys. Today's show is made possible by Omaha Steaks. From handcrafted steaks to delicious fall favorites, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And during their Red Hot sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, you get an extra $35 off with promo code Cowboys at checkout. I appreciate having delicious food that's ready, that's available. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. My wife has been craving burgers as she approaches the, 39th week of her pregnancy. I should know what that is, but I digress. So Omaha Steaks has delivered in that category as well. They have been America's original butcher since 1917. Family-owned company with 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot sale event. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code COWBOYS at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code COWBOYS at checkout. See site for details and see the comment section and the description of today's show for the link and the promo code. So this is then the final Cowboys injury report with the designations. Trayvon Diggs, no designation period. He's active. Tyler Guyton, no designation. Brevin Spann-Ford, we'll discuss him, then come back to the bad news on Perrion Winfrey. No designation at all for Brevin Spann-Ford. He is going to be active as the third-string tight end. I don't think he's going to surpass Schoonmaker. That was a possibility in training camp, but then the high ankle sprain for BSF and kind of put him behind the eight ball there. But he's back. He's healthy. That's a good deal for the Cowboys. Offense, special teams, etc. No Perrion Winfrey, however. He is not going to be out there after he had back tightness. We'll monitor how things play out on that front. He did not participate all 3 days at practice. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Out with the designation. I don't know if there's any chance of him going on IR. We'd in theory know tomorrow or whatever, but I don't think it's that bad. Is worth mentioning with Winfrey being banged up at this time. They're fine at defensive tackle. They've got other bodies. Oso with Kenny Clark now in the fold. Solomon Thomas, Mozzie Smith, Jay Toya. They still might inactive one of those guys up front. That wouldn't be a huge shock to me. You have to inactive several players. We'll have that list when it comes out during our watch party, which you guys should be subscribed to, or subscribed for, I should say. It's a weekly sub battle against Eagles now as well. We have a slight lead in subs over the Eagles. This one will be determined by the game itself. The winner of the game wins the sub battle. But let's build the early lead. Hit that sub button for me right now. Let's talk contracts then to wrap up today's show. Hunter Luepke, the surprise extension early this morning that I don't think a lot of us expected. Cowboys had him under contract for this year into the final year of his contract, but they get ahead on the deal with zero fanfare, drama in a good way. 2 years, $7.5 million total. Guaranteed is $5 million, so we'll see what the actual signing bonus is. Still a lot of details to be determined here. Average per year is just $3.75 million. Some key notes on the contract here. Luepke was under contract for a meager $1.05 million this year. Depending on what that signing bonus is, that may increase the cap hit this year. I don't think it's going to be very much. I will say, though, the right of first refusal tender that the Cowboys had the option to apply on Luepke next year was $3.45 million. So again, this new average per year in the contract is $3.75. So you're not really paying him any more per year relative to that. In fact, the way it's structured, you're probably going to be saving money next year on the cap. We'll see how it plays out, but it's probably going to be a pretty minimal change at all there. I need to see the actual details. Those maybe get out tomorrow, maybe later in the week. We'll see. But in terms of what the Cowboys are paying now, what they're going to pay next year, not really that big of an increase. It just kind of like gets it all squared away and guaranteed now for Luepke as opposed to next year doing it. So I have no complaints about this. Jokes, I guess, can be had, whatever. But you're paying a really good fullback who's a core special teamer for you. Zero issues there. So grade the Hunter Luepke extension, A, B, C, D, or F. If you don't want to give a fullback an A, that's fine. I don't see how this could be any worse than a B. It's a pretty cheap, reasonable extension for the Cowboys and Luepke. The one we had been keeping our eye on more significantly was the Tyler Smith extension. There have been plenty of Cowboys rumors about a deal coming soon. We are getting tight on time. We've got around 24 hours, depending on when you're watching. It's more, but still, in terms of the deadline before week one. Not a real deadline, but it's how a lot of agents often operate there. I would love to be proactive here and get the Tyler Smith extension done. I think that would benefit the Cowboys. There will be other guards who are going to get paid next year. There is like one main complication to this that I think is probably why the deal's not done yet. We'll get into that. But first, I want to hear your predictions. Will the Cowboys get a deal done with Tyler Smith? Why for yes and for no? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. The figures you have to beat if you're going to get the Tyler Smith deal done realistically are 4 years, $94 million total, $23.5 million. So, give him 4 years, $24 million per year. Have to beat the guaranteed money of $70 million. Now, what's different here with Trey Smith versus Tyler Smith is that you were doing this Tyler Smith deal a year earlier, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I want to remind everyone of that. It saves you money in the long run. His current deal is just $4.27 million this year. Paying him will increase that probably. $21.27 next year. Paying him would decrease that. Probably a pretty good amount there. The projected franchise tag based on previous years is going to be around $30 million. So in total, Smith is looking at probably $55 million in fully guaranteed money over the next 3 years. And that's fully guaranteed. You're not going to see Tyler Smith and his athletes' first agency say, yeah, we'll do this deal, but not take that fully guaranteed money of the projected franchise tag a couple years from now. So your fully guaranteed money's got to go up in the same way it did for Chris Lindstrom back when he signed his extension a little bit early with the Atlanta Falcons. That fully guaranteed money is significantly more than anybody else has right now. That's probably the crux of the issue because the recent contracts the Cowboys have done, the total guaranteed money was pretty high. The fully guaranteed money was not. The Cowboys have done vesting/injury guarantees in the third year of the all-new contract. So the original year left on the deal, fully guaranteed the first year. That second year of the 2-year extension, which what Ferguson and Bland have done, have had injury guarantees, and then they become fully guaranteed in March of that year. To do that with Smith, you'd have to not guarantee essentially the franchise tag year. That's not going to fly for the Cowboys. So that the total guaranteed money number might still be in that 70 whatever million dollar range. The fully guaranteed money, though, has to be a little bit higher because the Cowboys' leverage is we'll use the franchise tag on you, which is still getting the same fully guaranteed money for Tyler Smith. So he's going to have to you're going to have to pony up on that front.